Hiya girls, we are Barney and Lukey and we are the hot young visionaries behind Truffle Pig Wigs.
And this is Cliffhangers, the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged RuPaul's Drag Race recap show.
The views and opinions expressed on Cliffhangers are from a couple of women who just love drag and have zero real business judging it. If you are not a fan of red-hot acidic critique, turn back now.
He puts the soul in Prolapse Star Soul. It's Barney!
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I'm a Geordie girl with a VIP edge.
All right, Vicky.
Vicky. And maybe...
The original Vicky Vibration.
Yeah, all Vicky Gurner. And maybe if her dad had drunk pineapple juice the night before she was conceived, I wouldn't have to be here now on this godforsaken podcast. It's Miss Lucrezia Gorgia.
Lovely to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
How you doing?
Oh,
Luke?
that's
What?
a new drip.
Oh, right. We obviously, let's Alexandra Burke and talk about the elephant in the room.
We are bringing you a lovely autumnal ASMR.
Yeah. So we are lucky enough, our studio has a glass ceiling and we'd be constantly breaking those glass ceilings. But today...
Because of that,
yeah,
we got drips.
We have got a drip on the floor, haven't we? But most importantly, we are slowly waterboarding you with crazy gay sounds and heavy rain. It's pouring with rain here in London, and we're just going through it, aren't we?
We're just living it. I'd like to start with a half apology, half shout out to David L from the Insta.
Oh, David L.
He actually was the first person to ask if we would be doing any Dragula bits. So this one's for you, DL.
Sorry, David. I can't believe it. Do you know what it is? We're just a couple of crazy girls up on that inbox, and we're constantly reading messages and forgetting that we've read them, and it's... And I guess blame drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke, can I ask you a question?
You don't want to find out how my week went?
That's what I was just about to ask you.
But in the form of a lip sync.
Yeah.
Don't we normally discuss first what we've been up to?
I'd like you to tell me through the lip sync and then divulge. If you had a sore throat and were legally barred in the UK from using your baggy pussy lips as a ventriloquist dummy, which song would you lip sync to describe your past week, Lukey? I
would lip sync to, and I didn't know this was by them, Reunited by Peaches and Herb.
Like Phineas and Ferb.
I thought that would probably be like another Diana and Lionel or something, but apparently not. And that would be to commemorate my dad's anus being reunited with his intestines. He doesn't need a stoma bag anymore. He's one full connection from mouth to hole.
I love the very minimal explanation of where that was going. Just like...
I feel like I've discussed his arsehole previously
as
on the
you
pod.
should. As you should. Oh, fuck, just pulled out my headphones. We're going to have a weekly section actually talking about our parents.
Well, mine's fine now.
Anuses. Well, next week, Jules and her gaping hemorrhoids. I would, thanks for asking me, I would have Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent, which I believe is Gwen Guthrie, is that right? Because we've just been putting our nose to the mirror and working, haven't we?
Sure.
Yeah.
Nose to the mirror sounds like partying.
Well, it's nose to the grind. What is it? Nose to the grindstone? Well, yeah. We didn't have a grindstone, so we were on the mirror. But yeah, just working. Just getting them fucking ready to wears going so that you can lap them up in 8 minutes like you did last time. Should we talk some drugs?
I guess so. Let's go.
Come on, then.
Previously on RuPaul's Drag Race UK.
We played the snatch game. There were tight snatches, there were loose snatches. Ginger was the tightest by far. And whilst Vicky's lost all of its vivaciousness and had to sashay away. And can I just say, speaking of games, I've been waiting so long for Squid Game to come back, and Netflix has finally announced the release date. And it's just real people like playing the game, like it's not a second series.
Grim.
I know.
I can't even believe the cultural impact that Squid Game's had. It was so mental. Do you remember it was like literally the only thing that people talk about for like a month? I
was really depressed when it was over. Like, what am I going to do now? I need more Squid Games. That's why I was so looking forward to this. I feel like for about 9 months it said like Squid Games coming soon. And now it's just like, oh, what? It's just a fucking game show.
We have enough of real life, thank you. I don't need real people. I don't need real games.
I've got the physical 100 if I want to watch 100 sexy Koreans fucking grapple.
Let's talk after the elimination. I've got something to bring up. I just don't want to bring it up on the pod, but I'm going to have to bring it up on the pod. The Vivian, Lawrence Chaney, Crystal Versace, Danny Beard. Winners of Drag Race or an EDL match. Why, if we are getting very close to the end, and it is a very white season as usual. Are we really going to have another white winner? And that'll be 5 white winners on Drag Race UK.
Nasty for a white winner.
That's troubling.
It is.
Very, very stressful. And I know, obviously,
It's not representative of our nation.
it's not at all, is it? And it's quite a
Well, obviously,
it's quite a blight
fuck.
on our drag on our drag legacy, to be honest. Especially when we've had such insanely talented queens. of colour.
Tace is the people's winner, though. She's the Valentina.
She's the biggest queen.
Yeah, she
Her and
doesn't
Bims.
need... Her and Bimini don't need the title. Like, no Sade, but what's it really done for Lawrence in terms of... Like,
Although, do you know who really has done very fucking well? And it always doesn't surprise me at all, but like, I'm always like, I'll catch a little bit of her and I'm like, fuck, is Ahura. Insane.
she's always out doing shit.
And she was like, what? She dropped out like 5th or something. Dropped out. Refused to say she got kicked out.
Yeah, 4th or 5th.
Yeah. And she is like, and so who was after her that stayed in? Like Ellie?
Yeah, Ellie.
Ellie D. And
And then the 3.
yeah. And it's like, she has really fucking managed to stay relevant, but blessed and busy, which is quite crazy. So yeah.
Well, yeah, she's in that new show with the Honeys. We've got Vanity. We've got...
New show being what?
Tamara.
Oh, as in the new show, the live show.
Yeah.
Which is, I believe, maybe hot off the heels of all the redacted drama. You know who I'm talking about, the drama with the production.
The autographs and
yeah,
stuff.
with the production company. I believe it's from that it's like, this is a show where queens are going to get paid and going to do well. And they're like, I believe Ahura is producing it and looking after all the girlies. So
nice,
we have
isn't it?
absolutely no information on that to pass on, but go to the show. I believe it's at the Hippodrome, maybe. I believe it's like a proper Burley show.
Yeah.
So you should go to that. Go on Ahura's Instagram and go check it out. I would need, much like my good friend Caramel, I would need to know the piping hot straight away. I would be like, someone get that bitch. I know she just left. I can't rest until I know who that bitch is talking about on the mirror. Vicky Vivacious, I need to know.
Well, it's obviously Cara because no one else is stressing about it. So it's obviously her. But like, fuck it. Say what you want about Vicky V. That was a lesson in fucking throwing a chicken in the hen house and a fox in the hen house and running away. That's so good. That's how I would want to leave. Just like one last little oh la la.
Toot. I just feel though like I think it's quite lame personally. I
think it's funny. I think if you do it because you know it's funny, then it's funny. Like, I don't
But
think
she
she's
did
doing,
leave
she's
with a
doing it
bit
serious.
I know, but she did have that edge to her. Do you know what I mean? She did have that edge where she was kind of a bit bitter. And I just think that, I don't know. I just think that's a bit cowardly to be like, some of you. It's like, but if you don't like one of them, tell them to their face. It's better TV rather than writing.
I think this is good TV.
Writing on a mirror.
We'll
and running
find out
away.
in the reunion, won't we? Then we get double trouble.
True.
So, DD Couture, lip sync assassin. What do you think of Michael's demon allegations? Is there any truth to these claims?
I don't.
Serious detective.
A
work
DD
here.
demon. I don't see it myself.
What, assassin or demon?
Demon, yes. Absolute demon twink, 100%. But I feel like, much like the double Shantays of this world, I feel like we've entered a RuPaul political landscape where the phraseology of lip sync assassin is really thrown around a lot.
Well, it's basically if you win more than one.
Yeah. If you've been successful in a lip sync, that is a part of your job that every single person should be able to do. Like lip syncing, it's your bread and butter.
Well, I mean, not for everyone. You're Bianca Del Rio, you're comedy gals or whatever. Not everyone's a lip syncer, but you should be able to convey some kind of performative.
I
skills.
personally believe everyone should be able to lip sync. Personally, you should have other strings to your bows. You should be a host. You should give good looks if that's what you want to do. But I think lip syncing is like a very universal performance style. And I think you should, if you are a performer, being a drag, you're an artist, but you are a performer, and you should at least be able to perform on stage. That's the bare minimum.
Jinx, I wouldn't call her a lip syncer.
But she can lip sync.
She could do, yeah, but
She's funny
She
and
doesn't need to. That's not her bread and butter. That's what I mean.
Sure. I just think that any performer, if you stick them on a stage and say, mime to this, you should be able to bring your comedy, bring your, I think you should be able to, personally.
I don't think. I think That's a more of a
You say that
small-minded
as someone that
thing.
can't lip sync, so I understand. Small-minded.
Yeah, like,
wow.
I think there's more. You don't need to just be like, this is what drag queens have to do to be a drag queen.
No. I'm not saying that's. Sorry, I've worded this really
No,
badly.
we're moving on now.
Your time is over. No, I just mean that essentially lip syncing is performing, and if you can't lip sync, that means you can't perform. And so, how are you a performer? That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Sorry,
but
you
other
fucking
people-
Willow Smithin whipping that gorgeous 90s little fringe about. As you're
Yeah.
talking to me. God, I can't concentrate in the studio, girls. I'm sat in a puddle of my own piss. Sorry, Tamara, all I'm going to say, she is a shrieking, toothless dolphin.
She's actually, and I've got the video to prove it, one of the
She's got veneers.
hyenas from The Lion King. I've got actual footage of her.
There was one point where she was just like, it was like, this is, that. They're not human sounds.
No, I
at this point.
had to film it so we can maybe do a side to side because this bitch is crazy.
Literally a crazy girl.
And of course, we need to celebrate, as with all the other gals do, Ginger's third win in a row. I looked on Drag Race Wiki and I couldn't
Oh, you love a
find
wiki,
any
don't you?
other record of another queen winning 3 in a row. I don't know why that wasn't a category. But I can tell you that other queens that have won 3 challenges in the UK is Davina, The Viv.
Davina De Campo. Name
Lawrence
another singer
and
that
someone
can
else.
sing in 5 different languages.
In a split. I don't think. But like,
Sorry, can we just harken back to that iconic time? Do you remember watching
we
that?
got a shout out in this week's episode.
Did it?
Wow.
Sorry that I don't engage.
I don't watch the show.
Any of my frontal lobe to watch. It was it in the acting challenge?
It was, yeah.
Well, that'll be why.
You just said you enjoyed this episode.
We'll get there. I did enjoy the episode. That doesn't mean I have to have any interest in the script of the acting challenge.
Sure. But there can't be many queens that have won 3 challenges in a row. That is not literally. That's figuratively
Literally.
insane.
Yeah. That is quite sick, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it does really put a target on your back. But I think she's doing very fucking well. And do you know how she would only trump that? It's probably by winning the mini challenge.
Probably.
Keep your fucking eyes peeled. New Donkey Day, no?
No, I've still got stuff
Oh,
to
go on,
say.
babe. Go on.
Now I'll give you the signal when we've run out of things. He's so
It's
rusty.
intricate smoke signals.
He takes no pleasure in the admin that goes on in this podcast. It's all about the talking.
Readers,
What a
do you
surprise.
take any interest in admin?
They're
Because join me.
Michael, stuck in that position on the sofa, reminded me of a certain photo of you that I can't find. I think it's when we're coming back or waiting to get the plane back from Antibes and you're doing like
Front
flips
flip.
on the beach.
I have it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put it on the pod.
But could you actually, because you've been a nasty liar, and look, I'm constantly calling him out on the pod because I can't do
my
it
God.
just me and you because there's no backup. I need all the listeners to know that you're.
Wow,
You're
look
not-
at her trying to radicalise our listeners against
I
me. Oh, very weird. We've just got a very weird message from a very weird person. Sorry, that's super unhelpful and super... anyway.
That is so weird. How does he even know his name? Anyway, it's very. Sorry, that's really thrown me for a loop. I've got one more thing to say. I'm very obsessed with the term whisking rather than stirring. So
Yeah.
thank you, Deanie
I
Couture.
like
It's
whisk.
like a brown out. It's not quite a blackout.
Yeah.
But it's halfway there, so you get the message. I'm gonna start whisking up some shit.
You do like a whisk.
I do. All right, we've made it through. It is a.
It's a new day workroom.
What would be lighter than a whisk? Like an air raid? I'm just giving it a slight air raid.
Just a blow.
Yeah. Big fancy blow. I'm very happy to have our Donny Queen back in the room, just for that little sound.
Yeah.
Love you, babe.
Question. Are we going to discuss mother's heaving bosom? Or
Weirdly, I've also got another section later on where we are definitely going to talk about our mothers heaving bosoms. But let's talk about
Lovely.
mothers. She's not my mother, but you brought it up. Can I be honest? A deep friend of the pod, Miss Maggie, brought up that he had some slight prepubescent buds.
this was sick.
I was quite disappointed.
You know when you're
I
on the
thought they-
beach and you're just like, girlie, you're budding. Someone needs to get that girl a crop top right now.
Oh, I remember as well quite vividly in school, there was a girl, I'm not going to shout her out in the pod,
Denise.
Denise Richards. Oh no, that is a real famous
She's got
person.
more than buds as
Yeah.
well. She's a lovely pair.
Oh, hasn't she? Also, do you know?
I reorganised the soundboard.
Do you know that Denise Richards Richards. Do you know that it's only $9 to get a nude batch of Denise Richards on OnlyFans? She does $9. She does only
what?
a nude batch.
Oh, a nude batch of what?
Photos.
How many?
Images.
What's a batch?
I don't know, a handful. A baker's dozen.
Sure.
And their baps are plenty. She does OnlyFans with her daughter. I don't think not like with her daughter.
Girl on girl.
Sis on mum. She does, her daughter does OnlyFans and she does it and they hire a studio and do
£9, Denise.
Yeah, right.
You're
a Bond girl, is she?
Don't know, but she should be. If not.
She is in my
She's
head.
pretty.
We're all Bond girls.
On
in my head.
30 Rock, there's an episode where all the idiots, the idiot actors strike, and she's there at picket line, head of the idiots. We're getting more rights.
Oh, I love Denise Richards. I wouldn't be surprised if we never saw Denise Richards again.
Why?
Oh, get on the internet, mama. Anyway. Buds. Yes, I can very, very vividly remember being in school and there was a girl that the buds grew in and she turned up and she had an Aladdin crop top in and everyone was like, holy fucking shit, this bitch is stacked now. She's got titties swinging like udders. Obviously at the time they're just large nipples.
Oh,
but it was
gross.
I can remember all of the girls just being like,
oh, you were keen on it. You weren't grossed out.
Absolutely not. I've never been grossed out by the female form myself. We were just all obsessed with it. The two very huge moments was she was the first one to get a period and she described it to everyone. I can remember it.
She's really
she was a bit of a goer.
miles ahead in the
yeah. Much like my friend who was the first boy in our class to get pubes. So he took us all into the toilet to show them. He had about 3.
3 came at once. That's quite impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Anything to say about RuPaul's breasts?
I was just disappointed with them. I thought it'd be more of a hefty set. That was barely a handful.
But what is it? I thought maybe she had a little girdle on and that was just a bit of chest popping out the top or something.
I think.
Because they were very wide and very high.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think she probably wears
glands.
I think.
What are they in
the
your
milk
armpit?
buds. Oh no, I think she's probably been used to having a very tight body her whole life, and now the skin's just dropping a bit. The girl's 95?
But she's wearing a hoodie. You don't need to wear a girdle under a hoodie.
Question: how did we feel about her in her big top slouchy athleisure loungewear?
Well, it's
a very
funny
different look for her, wasn't it?
You bought me a RuPaul book a few years ago that I read on holiday. And
did she come for people in athleisure?
Yeah, she was like sweatpants, tracksuits should never be worn. It's the lowest of the low. I think it was Guru or something. So apparently about 8 of her books ago or something. But it's wow, you really don't stick to your guns, do you?
No, absolutely fucking not. And do you know, she was trying to get a Dita Von Teese sort of glamour manifesto going, but she can't. She probably didn't even fucking write it.
Glamour fest.
Probably Lucian Piani sat in some back room typing it out. Do we think RuPaul is a top? Most importantly, because I can't imagine he's too fucking tall not to be. Imagine trying to climb his scaly back to try and bum him. Let that image sink in. He must be a top, right? Or do you think he's a side?
I think maybe they just hold hands and give each other an old fashioned at this point. I don't know.
That would be nice. Sort of just hold. What is it called?
Dutch rudder.
And you just sort of rock back and forth.
Well, Dutch rudder is when
nice.
you hold your dick and then your friend puts his hand on top of your dick, so you're wanking yourself, but it feels like you're. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I thought a Dutch rudder was when you're getting asked.
You're moving their arm on the dick.
I thought when a Dutch rudder was when you're getting fucked and you say I was topping and you hold on to their dick while you're fucking them. I thought that was Dutch rudder.
Dutch rudder is if you're wanking, but then someone else is moving your arm for you, so it's you're not
the lazy Luku.
Kind of, but you're doing it simultaneously.
A rudimentary form of the lazy Luku. I don't want to body shame, but that bitch is built like a fridge. She is so slender and so her extremities are so slender, but she's so wide. It was quite confusing for me. She's like,
she probably just got lovely wide shoulders, and then because of the slouch leisure wear, it just drops down instead of nipping in on a lovely Epstein Parker suit or something.
Well, I often think it in the suits as well. She's built like a Chevrolet, but gorgeous, love her. We saw Vicky Vivacious on Drag Queens of London, and if any of the girlies out there, if you got the DVD, If you've got a Blu-ray, if you've got something, I need it like oxygen.
We've only found little teaser trailers. It's very annoying. We want to see it all.
We need to see Drag Queens of London. I actually did watch it when it was on, which was in yesteryear. It was about 10 years ago and it was on London Live, but we have scoured the interwebs for it and I cannot find it anywhere at all. So if you've got any hookup to Drag Queens of London, what could we offer them? Sloppy blozzers. Something.
Shout out.
Oh, if only that had some cachet. But please get in our inbox. Now, question, back to the drags. Do they all hate Cara?
Why'd you say that?
There was just a bit of a strange NRG in the workroom. Like, they were kind of all like, there was this...
Is this before or after the puppet show?
This is before. This was just a general sort of like, because of what had happened with Vicky leaving that message, they were all just so sure about like, obviously it's you. Obviously she doesn't like you. And then just sort of like, there was a couple of comments that were just sort of thrown in about people like, like Tamara being like, well, people like me. And I was like, is Cara not liked? Is she not well loved?
Maybe not.
She's a soft Georgia Peach. I was just quite surprised by that. I thought that she would be a bit of a fan.
I'm just surprised as well that
Fanny
like,
F.
You'd be like, oh God, yeah, I don't like her because she's loud. Like, most drag queens are loud.
Yeah, it's like, isn't that your main calling card for a drag queen? It's just like someone that stands and screams.
Whose puppet would you want? Who do you reckon you'd be the easiest to take the piss out of?
Either Cara or Tamara. Cara, just super simple because you can just literally read her and just be like, I am not funny. And just make your whole thing about her just not being funny and just about how... But then also Tamara is just loud and has an accent, so that is also quite easy.
Yeah, I think the safest thing to do is just choose the most opposite accent to yours and be crazy. And then
who would you go
RuPaul
for?
Would be like, ha 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 ha. I guess Michael or Tamara then.
Yeah. Oh, Michael! Oh, you can do the fucking Geordie accent, can't you?
Well, barely.
Well, that's half the fun, love.
I feel like Michael did pretty good in here. Then it got overshadowed because everyone's kind of like, well, yeah, Ginger won because we were all shit. But I feel like Michael was quite good.
Yeah. What about Cara saying, do you know what? I need to remind myself that I am funny. I am a funny girl. I can stand up there and be funny. And then pulling that shit.
Well,
wow.
I wouldn't have wanted to go first because you've got like no idea.
I wouldn't have wanted to go if I was Cara.
No.
Because she ain't, let me tell you.
But like, no one really was. Michael was okay and Ginger was funny, but it was more a read and challenge with a puppet more than... I suppose that's kind of what it is meant to be.
Absolutely. What about Michael Maruli dressing like a nail tech from Sunderland who only does French tips? She was in a fake Versace silk blouse, nipped in at the waist with a big gold belt.
No shirt, mind you.
No shirt. Who is she? I'm obsessed with her. She doesn't like bad fashion.
Speaking of...
She will tell you. What?
Tell them what's happened on our Instagram this week.
What?
We had the Vivian comment on one of our wigs to tag Michael Maruli in it. 5 minutes later, Michael Maruli's following and obsessed, and we've been in talks. So
oh my God.
It's all happening. Maggie was shaking at the thought of it.
Shaking at the bus stop. The poor girl was having... Truly. She was having convulsions of hysteria. It's so funny because once in a blue moon, it doesn't matter who comes in the inbox, does it? Once in a blue moon, when someone raises to cult-like status for you, like Michael Maruli, it's like your heart is beating solely for him at this point.
I might do a little kiss on the inside of the wig. Just for Michael.
Send him a handwritten note. We've got these lovely... Let me tell you, our stationery game
so
is
gross.
on fuego. How fucking dare you? They're so gross. They are... If you don't like a nice bit of candy couture... and we very occasionally... We'll send a handwritten note to the girlies.
Very occasionally.
Once a year, if that. Mainly because once it's boxed, we just want it out the fucking studio. You kind of forget that they're reading each other in front of RuPaul. So that actually, when you're pointing out the flaws and how shit they've been, they don't have any badges and they're actually not funny and their looks are bad and their makeup's bad. It's like you're doing that in front of the main judge.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah, and so it's like, well, when Dee Dee was like, had a face like a smacked ass, it was like, do you know what? Like, if you're kind of getting called out, it must be much, much harder than...
I don't actually think she was as pressed as it was made to be.
I'm trying to make a bit of drama.
She was just standing there.
Yeah, poor girl.
Anyway... Ginger definitely won the puppet challenge.
Oh, she decimated poor KB, didn't she?
KB. Yeah, she was on a mission to get away.
World's ugliest woman. These nasty ass cross-dressers have got way too comfy saying that phrase. It said every single week, just being like, Kate Butch.
They said she's not
ugliest
still
person.
the world's ugliest woman.
It was a double hitter. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you might think it's the world's ugliest woman, but it's actually Kate Butch. It's like, this is a phrase that should not be uttered more than once. That can't be her branding.
I mean, she's going to have to lean into something. Why not lean into the ugliest?
Well, as we'll see in the runway, it's definitely not going to be ugly.
Ooh. Anyway, Ru announces that they are doing screen tests this week, and we've got 3 dramas. First up, Footballers' Wags. Fuck yeah. I predicted that last week. No, I'm going to carry on talking.
Can I ask for the listeners that you hold the mic up to stop moving the mic away from your mouth?
No. So yes, my prediction was correct. Also Femidel, which I also predicted, although that was kind of obvious, and it's definitely a soap. And Dark. Have you ever seen Poldark?
I haven't, but I did. When I went to the Actor Centre, there was quite a few of the actors that came in from it, and they were all quite fit. So I imagine it's quite a hot show, no?
I have no idea. I don't want to watch olden day shit.
Olden day people in the middle of a field mucking out cows and complaining. Absolutely not for me.
So,
where is the glamour?
What would you want?
Ask yourself, what do you think? I've never seen Emmerdale in my life. It's about a farm, and all I know is that bitch from You've Got Framed used to be on it.
What's her name?
She's lovely, very pretty in the face, very heavy set girl. What's her name?
Black hair.
Oh, Mandy. No, that's not true.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Amanda.
No. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to Google, which obviously you would want to be in Footballers' Wives, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Lisa something. Sorry, it's so boring to say. Let's just rattle off names while we try and remember this bitch. Lisa Riley. That's who it is.
Fine.
And I don't care about Poldark, so obviously I'd want to be in the fucking early 2000s classic that is Footballers' Wives that we very recently rewatched the whole thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't even... Obviously, Tanya is the GOAT, but I wouldn't even mind what role I got. I would be able to play them both perfectly.
Yes, you would.
Yes.
The role of Tanya was mainly based on... Actually, no, you're not the role of Tanya. You are the role of... What's the manager called?
Oh, what's
with the
her
red.
name?
She's fab.
Fuck's sake, with the big eyes.
If you haven't seen Footballers' Wives, go and fucking treat yourself, girlies.
It's on an
Go
ITV
back.
player,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is truly one of the greatest TV shows in...
Shagging, just so much ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous fashions.
And just like such a slice of an era.
It's Dynasty for the internet age. Do you know what I mean? Who would you have wanted for your scene partner pick?
Probably Ginger. I mean, she's on a fucking roll, isn't she?
Yeah, probably. But then you would have to be like, she is on a roll. Is that going to hinder me or overshadow me?
No, I think I'd be...
Yeah, same. I would 100% want Ginger.
What does Gigi say? I hear your concern, but unfortunately, I do not
share them. I have written something here which I just don't understand, Luke, and I'm going to say it out loud and hopefully you make some sense of it. I don't think oh, no, I do. When Cara was like, I think you're quite used to looking rough, so you should change. I don't think saying they look rough is the correct way to get them to change their mind about the thing they want. I was like, probably catch more bees with honey.
Well, it works, didn't it?
It did.
I've got a question for you.
Please.
Heavy spoilers coming ahead. If Cara hadn't fought for that role, do you think she'd still be here today?
Oh, wow.
On this very day?
On this day. Now, it's hard to tell. It's hard. Look, I'm no Mystic Meg, but what would she have had otherwise?
I don't know, but I was going to bring this up later, but I'll bring it up now. She clearly hasn't seen Footballers' Wives because you know that the character of Champagne is meant to be Chardonnay, and that's not how Chardonnay acts.
Well, that's not how you act when I hang out with you.
So I think she just heard wag, and then her and Michael were like, let's be crazy. Because Michael didn't have the accent right either. And accents, if they're going to come for Tamara and Thingy about their accents, I've got to say, Tanya is not...
She should be talking like this.
She's like Midlands, soft Midlands. She's not from the East End.
She's got a lovely sort of Leeds
But yeah, I felt like
something.
Michael has seen the show. I don't think Cara had seen the show.
Tanya was just in the room then, bitch. Did you hear that? It was heaven. Listen back to it. I think that maybe you are right. I think maybe if she hadn't pushed for it, then maybe something would have been more successful because I didn't really think she shone in that, and neither did Michael. But you often get that with the acting challenges that they'll just be like, oh my God, yeah, I want to play the bitch.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's actually normally the most boring script because also as well,
You've got nowhere to go.
and the script, when your script dictates exactly how you act, it often doesn't leave any room for nuance. So it's like if you go with a character like in the Whole Dark, is that what it's called? Whole Dark.
Yeah.
Whole Dark thing. that it's like she is a scullery maid. Then it's like you can go absolutely anywhere. You can make her super horny, you can make her super angry, super jealous, like whatever. But it's like if your character is a bitch, it's really hard to find lightness in that, which means that you'll probably just get like
one's a job and one is a character, so there's kind of unfair already, isn't it?
Okay, Shakespeare.
What's her name? Old Mary Shakespeare got kicked off of Germany.
Mary Shakespeare. If you had won, would you concede? Would you be like, do you know what? Yeah, I have just won the challenge and I'm allowed to pick who people are. And then now this bitch is here telling me I want that. Wouldn't you be like, well, I don't care, I just won. So that's part of my prize.
Yeah, but I also feel like Ginger and Kate were like,
we're going to be great, whatever.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I suppose it is a good moment for sisterhood, but probably not. Yorkshire and Scotland, they're close, aren't they? The British educational system has failed Miss Danielle Dolores Licious because Scotland and Yorkshire.
Well, Yorkshire's like halfway up, isn't it? And
Yeah.
Scotland's the
There's
bit.
about the other half of the country between.
Yeah, but compare it to like the size of Arizona. It's basically next door.
Wow, it's just all a numbers game, innit? Yeah.
Everything's relative, Barney.
Yeah.
It's all about context.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. And I feel like my life has just changed listening to you say that right now.
Right, so we move into the filming with Michelle. First up, we got Footballer's Wags, and I'm very into Cara's wig.
Ah, yes, absolutely. I don't know what noise that was. Yeah, I was going to say, moi aussi. Most importantly, how do we feel about these matching lime green ruched bodycons? Because I feel fab, and I was thinking, imagine if me and you had a little knockabout the studio number, just both in a lovely sort of acid green ruched number.
I thought it was very weird that they didn't ever bring up the fact that they're in the same dress.
Are you twins?
Is it because Champagne is trying to they never referred back to that. I thought mainly who deserves a round of applause, the real MVP of this whole
Don't you
bloody
fucking dare
thing.
say it. Don't you fucking dare say it.
My boy in the Brick Crew.
Jacob!
So good.
Oh my
Compared
God.
to those fuckers.
One of my notes was...
Kept it rolling through at least.
My short king, cute as a button, love him. But I know that man is a professional performer. He's up in the musicals. I've been seeing him on TikTok. He's a performer. His acting was so bad.
They probably were like, don't do it really good because it will show up the girls.
But that's exactly what you should be doing. An actor of your stature, of your credibility, would know that when you go in there, that it's like, okay, what they're not looking for is a Lee Strasberg sort of very intellectual reading of the script. What they're looking for is panto. And so you would mirror what they're doing. All it came off as that he had no energy and that he was like trying to play it like super for real. It's like, bounce off them. Like, they are heightened and ridiculous and stupid. They're giving you panto performances. That's what you should be given. You're a professional actor.
Disagree. Specifically in the Femidel one, I thought he was the
only
one.
Really believed it.
Well, I didn't believe it, but he was the only one like stopping it from being just 1,000% shit show. Like, at least there's someone who's kind of on it, who is slightly...
It's horses for courses, Luke. Different strokes for different folks. That mug on Michael Maruli, let me tell you, it does not soften under studio lighting, does it?
No.
When them lights came up on that face, I thought...
That's very Tanya, though.
She's a handsome woman.
Tanya is nothing if not harsh.
Yeah, she's very harsh. Would you say you've got a soft or harsh visage? Because I think you've got the softest little cherubic face in the world.
It's a lot softer since I've had the beak shaved off of the front of it.
A lot in your swordfish era. Luckily, that's gone. I think you've got very soft... Sorry, can I just say, drag name, Pam Shane. Fab, no? No.
What's the joke?
Champagne? Pam Shane?
No.
Pam Shane? No.
Pam and Shane are both the worst names I've ever heard.
Also, I wish I could put a photo on the pod of the face you just gave me. I was like, Pam Shane. Just like, look at me like, please stop with this right now.
I was getting confused with Pam Sandwich.
Oh, yeah. Who's Pam Sandwich? Oh, our good friend Thomas Hartley from Maths.
Yeah, Maths last year.
Deep friend of the pod.
Love you.
What about when Kate Butch came out looking like the barman from Shrek?
Holdock. Yes. Yeah, she was... It would just seem so effortless for Ginger Bush as I'm now shipping them.
Yeah.
I haven't really got anything to say. Just like, yeah, great.
My first thought was Ginger is for sure, sporting a very heavy bosom for a lady. Very wide, very thick. And I thought, it's quite Jules and Soph coded, if I'm honest.
Well, my mum's had hers lobbed off, thank you very much.
Oh, well, Jules is really sporting quite a shelf of breasts herself.
A bosom.
Yeah, a bosom. And I thought, we're very humbly equipped young ladies, considering we come from such busty stock.
I got my dad's boobs.
Yeah,
Not
unfortunately.
fair.
Well, would you have wanted the Soph special? Because they're big mama titties.
They are big mamas. They were like double G at their biggest, I
Woo! My mum's are so wide that they're like much wider than her body. That
think.
is.
They come out the sides.
Yeah. From the back, she looks like a yellow cab.
Oh, yeah. Oh, just think of the back. Actually, fuck the back pain. Just think of the like daily harassment and pervation.
Yeah.
To deal with.
My mum's got a fantastic set of breasts. Congratulations. I thought what a formidable team of funny girl. Like, how fucking much would you be shitting yourself if you're like, oh, the two funniest bitches who are also actors and also have an understanding of craft and how to deliver something that is absolute dog shit script like this. And then you'd be like, oh, neither of us are good at this. Fuck.
Yeah, but they had their chance in the girl group week. That was their time to shine, do you know what I mean?
True. But then I think both of them did quite well in the girl group, as far as I remember, no?
You don't remember anything.
I don't.
Exactly.
Well, still Alice over here.
There were half of them knocking her out with a fucking sofa.
Oh my God, yeah.
So, yeah, as you said before, horses for courses.
Horses
ain't
for
it?
courses. What about Tamara and her Smithy's Velma
We've
Kelly
moved on to Femmerdale, guys. We've moved on to Femmerdale, I repeat.
You know what it's like? It's 100 miles per hour in this studio.
Just write a heading in your notes one of these days. She was Dee Dee was giving me Betsy Johnson fringe, and I don't know why.
Yeah, like it's been you put the hairspray on, then have you ever done that? Put hairspray on and then straightened it, and it just goes like plastic.
No.
Oh, it's quite mad.
I've never needed a straightener. My hair's too bloody straight. I've got a joke for you.
Go on.
Thank God they were surrounded by all that straw, because this was a shit show. It's a mucking out joke for all my horsey girls out there.
My least favourite look by far in their Camilla Parker Bowles drag. I was not. Oh God.
And because they're both wearing those giant breastplates, they have to have those stupid scarves both tied around the gilet.
Yeah, but I also think like we know that deep underneath there may be some menses in that room. Like I think. You don't really need to wear the scarf. Do you know what I mean? I think the breastplate it's a given at this point.
Well, yeah, especially when people they're wearing a necklace
different colour.
And then just like the shoulder bit would be like the hardest edge in town.
Oh yeah, absolute.
Also, why the hell on TV is Tamara doing like fake slaps? Not only can we hear it, but we can see you're just clapping your hand and not hitting her. Like what?
She is mentally and clinically insane, Lucy. I think not knowing your lines gets so jarring. How do they not even know? Like they didn't even know the plot. Like, what happens now? It was
and you couldn't get more than one sentence each.
Yeah.
I feel like once that starts happening, then it's just like you go into panic mode, and I don't think you could even remember the words if you knew them.
Going into parasympathetic state. It's called.
Paris
in performance psychology.
One night in parasympathetic state.
It's basically when your drenny gets going and you're like, I now can't remember my own name because I'm so scared and so freaked out. But my favourite thing of it all was Dee Dee being like, I hope I'm not being delusional, but I think we did quite well. It's like Michelle has literally just said, what a mess.
Yeah,
like,
that surely was a line fed to her by the producers. Like, you in what brain did you think that went well? You had to be like 9 every time.
You literally didn't know what the story was. You just kept on being like, and what happens now? It's like
you slap her.
I know, and you know it's because they both spent like an hour and a half doing their face, just being like, it really matters how we look in this challenge.
Well, Tamara just worried about that fantastic Yorkshire accent that she did, perfecting it.
We head back for Elimination Day, and I have a question for you, Lukey. What would you say is the worst thing you've swallowed?
I don't really put that much in my mouth, really.
Oh.
So probably cum, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was quite sad.
Yeah, I'm not like one of them kids that's like out here sticking like coins up my nose or shit. Like,
do you know, my uncle... Yeah, I'm calling you out on the pod, bitch. My uncle, when he was younger...
Uncle Renoir.
Had to go to hospital because he put a crayon up his nose, like the whole way... And then also...
Not your brain?
And then also had to go to hospital like a year later because he put a crayon in his ear. So...
Stop giving this bitch crayons.
Yeah, innit? Like, he was like 14. Like, grow up. He wasn't. He was like 6.
What's the worst thing you've had in your mouth?
Well, I was really trying hard to think of this. I was like, I'm sure. Come on. Back. And I think probably piss.
Your own?
Actually, more than once. Yeah. One time. Oh, God. Stories for days.
Disgusting!
Absolutely disgusting. One time, I'm sure I've told you this story before. One time that my ex-boyfriend dared me to taste my own piss in the shower. Surely.
Yes.
Yeah. And as we
lovely tale that one. Actually,
as we know, listeners, I cannot medically, religiously cannot stand down from a bear. It is, if you really want me to do something, bet me to do it.
This is good to know.
Yeah. I just find it very, very hard to be like, unless it's like dangerous. And I'm like, oh, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. I just find it very hard, very hard. I think maybe I'm softening in my old age as I get more and more lazy. But there was a time in my life when if you dared me to do anything, I would literally do whatever you asked me.
Why? What's the mind behind this?
I love a rush of adrenaline. I love doing stupid shit.
You want people to like you?
Oh, I'm desperate for people to like me. I'm desperate to people think of me as a joker.
Yeah.
As a clan.
Are you Georges from Maths?
I'm Georges. But also as well, shout out to the drag performer and drag artist that we know. I really hope that they can always hear that. Who, once we were at a party and one of our friends pissed into a beer can and then handed it to them and they drank it like 3 gulps before
realising.
Before they were like...
it wasn't a mistake. They were like, I'm going to piss in this can and give it to Thingy.
Basically, that person went to the toilet and we were playing Ring of Fire and they got a dare and someone was like, piss in that can and then give it to them when they come back. And everyone in the room knew. And yeah, they just sort of like sipped it and then went on with their day. It was like, oh, and then someone was like, you do know. And now, a piss queen.
Really?
So maybe that was their gateway. Maybe.
Have you had any DRIs?
I have had many. It will not shock you to know. I have twisted my ankle, both of them, at different times on stage, which is truly
lovely.
I once did it when I was in a show and in the middle of a number, and I was sobbing, crying the entire way through. And it was like a weird sort of like number where we were all like aristocrats. And I was just like, I can remember my hands like shaking. So I was like, I think I've broken my ankle and I'm now standing on it. It was truly the worst thing. And also I've knocked myself out on stage as well. In one of the dang shows, which is quite fab.
Our friend Lags did that on stage, swinging his guitar around and then it hit him in the head.
Love. Did he go fully unconscious?
I think so.
Oh, shout out Lags.
Lol.
God bless him. Should we take a little break, or have you got anything more to say, my love?
Well, I was just going to comment on the only other person, apart from Michael, that I know to call their arsehole a hoop is our good friend Declan. He also calls it a clacker.
Oh, me clacker.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's spitting my clacker.
That's proper East End love for you.
So shout out Deck and
his hoop and his clacker.
And I think his second baby as well.
Oh.
Maybe that came out the clacker.
Hopefully.
Let me tell you something, you ugly bitch.
Here, Luke's.
Yeah.
You gorgeous girly. Let me tell you something. Big tech, yeah?
Yeah.
Ain't your pal, mama. Mm-hmm. Because 3 terrifying things I found out, which they're probably terrifying but not surprising, is Airbnb charges are inflated depending on how many times that you've used the website, and also in correlation with not only where you're going, but also what you've searched that is also open in that tab. So therefore, if they think you have more money because you've been on more trips with Airbnb, then they charge you more.
So kind of like if you look at the price on Uber and don't get it straight away, when you come back in, it's a higher price.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. Uber, even more worrying, I've got 3 of them, even more worrying, Uber implements fare escalation depending on how low your battery is.
Whoa,
So,
that's nasty.
Isn't that
like,
fucking
you don't want to
insane?
get raped, do you?
Yeah, so
you better get in a cab,
if you're
you fucking cunt.
I couldn't find more information,
How
which
do they
I'm
know
sure
how low your battery is?
because they can tell. You know, like when you're on like FaceTime and stuff and it says you have a low battery, they must have access in your, I'm sure you can probably change it, but I'm sure in the apps thing, it probably has access to that information.
That's mental.
Because also like Uber is run like by big tech. That's Silicon Valley shit.
But that's like, I don't know, that's like something that's like a physical thing on your phone. I don't know. That's like not just like...
Well, yeah, because when they open the coding would have to have that when you open the app, your battery appears through the app, so they would have access to that. Because they know, like, they have access to everything from the app.
I feel like stuff that you're typing in and searching, fine.
I mean, fact check it, babe.
Maybe
Fact
I
check
will.
it. And then my last one was Tinder. What they did there was a big research that they did into the psychological effects of Tinder and how it's changed the dating market. And they found that Tinder implemented bots to talk to people to keep them interested in the app.
Oh, I'll peg on that. Do you know there was a big massive thing that BetterHelp was using loads of bots?
Oh my God. Imagine you're some poor uggo that's living in back swamp wherever. And you're like, wow.
Might be pretty from front swamp. You should still be getting what you're paying for.
Well, true. But you're like, oh my God, someone's talking. Like, do you know what, Tinder is really not working out for me? And then some like hottie, like Lottie too hottie, like pops up and they're like, hey girl, what are you up to? I'm just having some pancakes and having a nice day off. And then you're like, wow, my life's going to change. Your picture in your wedding dress. Like, and it's some fucking Silicon Valley bot. That is heartbreaking.
Well, I would recommend everyone watch this thing. I think it was on BBC. It's about catfishing. And this guy basically discovers that you think, oh no, someone's catfishing me and then they're conning me to buy Bitcoins. But the people that are doing these scams are human trafficked and living in these like massive compounds, and they'll just have like models who are chatting to all these men. They use her photos. Then like one day a month she'll come in and just do like a very quick video chat like, hey baby, I'm at work, but just to prove it's them to like 1,000 people and to keep them on the hook. But they're all being fucking human trafficked themselves. It's just like, it actually made me feel sick for so long. Like these people doing so much awful shit, ruining people's lives, stealing their money, are actually they're having their lives ruined as well. And it's like they do that or they die or they're tortured.
I saw a documentary on, I think it was Netflix or Amazon, about human trafficking about 2 years ago. It was quite a big one. And they were busting a huge like underage prostitution human trafficking ring. And the people that ran it kept the girls, they would inject them every morning, kept the girls on like a level of sedative. And like one of them that they met was like, I think she was about 35. She'd been like since like 15. It was like she had been on a sedative. And when they found her, the doctor was literally like, this is so dangerous that she has like this amount of sedative in her blood at all times.
Like flatlining.
Yeah. It's like if she took a sleeping pill at any point, it would kill her. Because she's like got so much sedative in her blood that it's just like, because it's every 24 hours because they need to keep them like sort of medicated. Absolutely fucking terrifying. And then it was like, oh yeah, actually loads of girls that they traffic have died that way. Ugh. Just like they're always like teetering on the edge.
Miss Britney Spears.
It's a terrible world we live in. And do you know what you should do? Build an underground bunker. We could be doing the pod from there. You could get Deliveroo. Like,
maybe.
That's what we should be doing. Just hiding out.
I don't know how secret it is if Deliveroo can find us. They're probably scamming us as well anyway, the fuckers.
Yeah.
We'll make your delivery fee faster when you're hungry.
Oh, grim. Let's talk main stage. For once, that Paco Rabanne inspired gown. I mean, I say Paco Rabanne, maybe Comme des Garçons, I don't know, whatever it fucking was with the acrylic flowers. Heaven. That's craftsmanship, mama.
It reminded me of these shoes I had from Shelley's back in the day that had little
with the
orange
flowers
on them.
I know the exact. Have I seen them?
I don't think so. No. They were like kind of a sort of almost a wedge, but just like a little bit cut out, and then like strappy things on the side.
They're sort of like doll shoes.
No.
Like big strap and then sort of like
no, like loads of straps all the way down and then flowers on the top.
Oh, I don't know
what I was most excited about was the fucking slit on Michelle Visage, and I don't know why we were cheated from, but she just has a slit up to her pussy, and we get bloody Wallace and Gromit or whatever his name is instead.
Oh my fucking God, don't even get me started on Joel Gromit or whatever his name is.
Why are you famous?
Well, from what I know...
No, you.
Me personally. Fuck knows. It's infamy at this point. From what I know, Joel Dommett is obvious... I mean, need I remind you, throughout this episode, he is a professional comedian. Making people laugh and telling jokes is his job. He is famous for it. Would you say you had a single thing in the entire episode that even slightly classified as a joke?
I heard him making jokes, but I wasn't laughing at any of them.
And he has absolutely no personality. He's so boring.
He's not even fit for them to all be like fucking pissing their pants over
Well,
him.
from what I know, there was a couple of leaked vids of him wanking on Skype.
And he got a big knob.
And he got a big knob. From what I know, and that kind of blew him up a bit, that people were like, oh, hold on, very boring, but what a throbbing member.
Throbbing knob.
Yeah, and I think that's how basically people became interested in him. Joel's Dommett. And he is so fucking boring. And do you know what I hate so much is the pandering. Call him Panda Express because just like, oh, I'm coming in a pink suit and limp wrists because it's like, I want the gays to love me. It's like, you are so fucking dull. And he ain't, if you hadn't gathered, he ain't for me.
He ain't for me either.
No, so get him off our screens, really. It's just, epitome of queer baiting and it's absolute bullshit. Let's talk the runway category. Pajama Rama. As someone who lives in their pajamas, this don't excite me much.
No,
if I'm honest.
what would you do?
I don't know. What would you do?
So my brain thought was Pajama Rama, Banana Rama, bananas in pajamas.
Nice.
So I was thinking I would have like paint my body yellow and then have like a big yellow beehive to be like a banana. And then they wear like blue and white pinstripe pajamas. So just have some super like tailored cunt and like diamante version of that with some kind of like cunt shoe.
Yeah. I think this is just so boring. It's like you basically have to, because pajamas are so pedestrian and so dull, you basically have to do a period look in order to make it interesting. Obviously, there are many people that are going to be doing the sort of like vintage like pajama look. I was actually pleasantly surprised that loads of people didn't do what Kate did, which I thought that's normally a road very well travelled, right?
But is lingerie pajamas? That's the question you got to ask.
It depends who you're meeting in your dreams.
Maybe.
But I didn't love it. Themes I would like to see. Go on, hit me.
Bioluminescence.
Bioluminescence.
You've got it again, haven't I?
I would love to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Dreamy.
What would you do?
Maybe rather than like the creatures, do something inspired by when they're just all in the ocean. So like maybe it's a bit like Frozen somehow, but some like just a big flowy dress that has all just the sparkles in it, kind of like trying to be the waves rather than an actual animal.
I'd like to see it. And speaking of things I'd like to see, a runway, I'd like to see paintings come to life.
What, art?
Yeah.
I think we've had
inspired
that in
by
an
art.
All-Stars.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like maybe even the one that we covered when I had COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you name a thing?
I feel like someone did, obviously, Liechtenstein. There was some Andy Warhol.
Not like art, not just art, not art as a category. Paintings come to life.
The girl with the pearl earring.
Yeah, so like I would do Ophelia and I would be like completely drenched and covered in flowers. Like someone from a painting.
Okay.
Like figures from art history, which I think would be super fucking cute. Should we talk these runways?
Let's do it.
First up, we have Lukey's favourite person in the world, Michael Maruli, serving rich Geordie slag.
In a Brenda LeBeau hat.
Really? Yeah. Deep friend of the pod, Brenda LeBeau.
I don't really think lingerie is pajamas. So all these lingerie ones are throwing me off.
To say. I know.
But it's fine. I guess I'll give it a 7. Where's my bloody button? I've just rearranged them all and now I don't bloody know.
Colour-coded. Oh my God, if you could see the tech that this bitch is working.
They were colour-coded before. There we go.
I thought it was fun. I liked the beat.
Cute.
Oh, that one needs an edit. God,
I liked it though. I fortunately think this is very overdone. I feel like we've seen we've seen this whole like woken up after a night out thing done quite a few times. Can you name any other people that have done it?
Utica.
Yep.
Courtney.
Yep.
No more.
Also, as well, there was someone from UK, which I can't remember. Someone else. I feel like did the Viv do it?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's just, and also as well, like the Geordie thing, like the Geordie girl. It's just not. I think it's just not very inventive.
No.
So I gave it a 6. Next up, we have Caramel serving Curls Aloud.
Wig by her and Kiki Snatch again.
Really? Wigs by Kiki Snatch.
Her and Cara did the wig together.
Oh, right, sure. I was going to say, 'cause she did the same thing and I did the hair myself. I was like, well.
I wish that she kept the robe closed because with it closed...
She hate the lingerie. Just say it. Just be bold.
But that just took it from being like, this is a look that it's simple, but I stand by it kind of thing. I just felt a bit like, oh, but I got body as well. But I was kind of enjoying it. She's giving me kind of like 70s like Pam Grier, just like...
Yeah, very Pam Grier actually.
Being very gorgeous. And yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Just like, I'm here and there's a fucking plush ass dressing gown and my rollers. So it just felt a bit like you didn't need to do that.
The Diana Ross makeup was heaven on her, wasn't it? Just that sort of like white lid. This is a Pierre Moss reference. And it's actually the entire thing it's a recreation.
Yeah, I've seen pictures on Spilling the Tea.
Which I don't mind because it's not like, this is a Mugler inspired outfit. At least it's like, it's a black designer. It's current. It's New York. Like, at least like it's a bit different, right?
I think 90% of all outfits on this are a direct copy of something.
Oh yeah, I mean, you'd have to. You would at least start if you're getting custom done. You would at least hopefully start with a photo and be like, "Please remake this." Unfortunately, most of the queens probably just send in a photo of something that someone wore last season.
Yeah,
and just be like, "Yep."
But I'll give this a 7 truffles.
Yeah.
Wait, what's on her feet? Never noticed that. It looks like she's got just 2 like dead foxes on her feet.
It's a bit irregular choice on the foot there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a strange choice. But I really, really liked this. I thought it was fun. I thought it was an interesting use of hair. I gave it a 9.
Nice.
Yeah. Next up, we have Miss Kate Butch serving Boudoir Woman.
Another wig in the city.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the whole knife gag.
Yeah.
I know it was 33 years ago now to the day, but I still feel like Detox did that.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It's hard because like she didn't invent monochrome makeup, but as soon as you see it, it's like, yeah, Detox has done that.
But let me tell you what she did do when she did it. She painted her body. I'm never, ever a fan. I know they don't have the time. I know it's annoying. But I'm never a fan of when girls wear bodysuits instead of painting their skin.
I'm fine with tights. Tights and then paint your arms.
Tights. It's just because it's so hard to colour match. And then so often you get like a different grey on the arms, different grey on the legs, which is kind of what happened here a bit. But
And also, I don't know about the red eyes.
Okay. I thought it gave it a nice something different, not too detoxy then. I thought she looked so beautiful in the face. When she came out, I gasped. I was like, yeah. I thought she looked absolutely gorgeous. I thought, if I saw myself like that once, I think I would paint myself every time like that, perhaps. It's just like a different, like much...
Will she be able to transfer it into colour though?
That's the question on everyone's
From the
lips.
black and whites to the colours. It's a tough time.
Can you tell me what my biggest problem with this look was?
The waist?
Silence is deafening.
You're just making me say horrible things now, aren't
No.
you?
Oh, I thought it would be very obvious. You
No.
cannot take a Catherine Delish robe. They're what, like £600?
I mean, it might not be.
No, that's sure as hell fucking ain't. You cannot take, that is inspired by a very famous robe that a lot of the Burley girls wear. Catherine Delish, a very, very famous burlesque performer. She makes these boudoir robes. You cannot take that and then replicate it with chicken feathers.
That's not chicken feathers.
Is it not?
No. Sorry, I just realised my microphone was just halfway across. That ain't chicken feathers. No, that looks like marabou or something. That's like a fluff rather than feathers.
Even worse. It's fun fur.
It's not fun fur.
It's fun fur. The robe needs to be sheer. I
don't think she's trying to do that. Like, Catherine Delish didn't invent a marabou trimmed robe. She copied it from the 50s.
I know, but with the vintage hair, like you can tell what the inspiration is. Like,
yeah, it's vintage.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, but for me, the robe should hit the floor. You can't have an ankle length robe. Like, if you're going to give me the silhouette, give me expensive, give me luxe. Let it hit the floor and don't use fanfare on the trimmings. And it should be sheer. But that's just my thoughts. And that's coming from a hardened Kate Butch stan.
Did she ever open it? No.
No, and I did give her a 7 because I thought it was fun and I liked the beat.
I'll give her a 6.
Okay. Next up, we have Ginger Johnson serving the vivid intersection of sexy baby and grown furry.
She's so fucking cute, isn't she?
Oh my God.
Obsessed with the shoes. I don't know if you know, but there is a brand called Streetsies that do these little bunny shoes.
But she made
kitten
these.
heel, I know. And I've also often thought, because the Streetsies, they only come out in very small batches. Every now and then it's all like, you have to like print out this thing that's got the foot measurings because you can't send it back. Like, it's all very like stressy to buy it. And I thought many times, like, could I just make my own?
Probs.
And now I know if I want a high pair, I'll go to Ginger.
But you've got some, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a kitten heel.
Yeah, you've got blue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blue
very
bunnies.
cute. I thought it was a stroke of fashion genius, the bunny peep toe. I loved it. I thought absolutely gorgeous in the face. Something about the makeup was so delish.
She just, that like heavy under eye line is just so cute on her.
Yeah. It was a bit sissy. It was a bit Shirley Temps.
I'll tell you what, it's not.
What?
Sleepwear. That
Depends
is
where you're sleeping.
a baby doll dress.
Yeah, but I loved it. I love that. There's nothing that tickles my fancy more than a grown man in a baby doll dress. Very fucking
So how
cute.
many truffles?
I saw a very disturbing TikTok the other day about Shirley Temple that was in, you know, in her Good Man Lollipop or whatever she got there.
Sure.
Good Ship Lollipop.
She's not. I barely know who.
You don't
she
fuck
is.
with her.
I just don't. I know she's some old timey little girl, but I don't really know much more than that.
She's not a bad bitch to you, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
You're basic.
I also don't know anything about her apart from her name and that she had heavenly curls. And that it's a lovely non-alcoholic cocktail. But Shirley Temps, in this video, it's like, why is she surrounded by 10? So, you know, there's a lot of law about the paedophilia in Hollywood. And Judy Garland came out and was like, me and obviously Shirley Temple as well have been like sexually abused our whole life as children. Sorry, very dark on the pod today. But then everyone's been like sort of like rewatching her scenes, and it's like she's like doing like basically like sort of like an old Hollywood like dance scene, like getting like passed about by these like 10, 40-year-old men.
How old is she?
She's 6. And it's just like, it actually, like, I have seen it before, but it was like someone was talking about it, just like, they were like, it's been documented that there was things to do with sexual
Diddling.
assault. Yeah. And she, sorry, I just keep on yanking out my headphone with these emphatic hands that I've become so in love with. And they're basically saying that, yeah, when you watch the video back, it was like, it's very dark now, knowing that there was such a checkered past. And it was quite horrible. So never watch a Shirley Temple film.
I don't think I would.
I don't think it's very you, to be honest. But what is me is this big sissy and her baby doll. And I gave it 9.
I'll give it 6.
Next up, we have Miss Dee Dee Lish serving plushie. What it is a onesie.
It is. It's an Eeyore onesie.
It do be a onesie.
With a... What's that material called? Organza?
Polyester?
No, for the boa.
Tulle.
No, because it's got that edge. It's not like fishnet. It's like... Anyway, I'm going to say organza.
Okay,
Just
I
like,
believe
yeah,
organza.
I think this is probably like, we're running out of time. What we're going to do for this one.
Yeah.
Let's go down Primark and get some bits.
Yeah, I didn't love it. I gave it a
But
6.
she did look very cute, and she did a cute presentation.
She's got a very gorgeous little face on her.
Yeah.
So, I did like the presentation. I thought she was coming down the runway and she was selling something that she wasn't maybe sure about, but...
I'm giving it another 6. I think.
Yeah, I gave it a 6
I think anything's
too.
been higher or lower than. I think I've done 6s for everyone so far.
Next up, we have Tamara serving Bear Woman.
Well, I guess this is probably my favourite. I'll give it a 7.
This is your favourite?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shit, it's hot.
Wow, the bar is the floor. As she said, it's given Machino. I don't know who Machino is, but it's apparently given it.
I mean, it is. If you look on Spilling the Teapot, they did like screenshots for about 8 different
they did.
Moschino bears things.
Yeah. They had a whole.
I don't know why she has a rope around her waist though. But I feel like I like the boots. She looks hot.
Can I ask a question from me to you? If you don't deem lingerie sleepwear, how is taking a couple of cuddly toys, gluing them to a panty and bra?
Because at least
How is that sleepwear?
the teddy bears live in your bed.
Okay, it's bear adjacent. I see it. But many hot sluts dress like that for bed. Including
No,
me.
you dress like that for fucking, then you sleep naked after the deed is done.
You are not a woman.
I've never been bought
not a woman
lingerie,
of
so I
Christ.
wouldn't know.
Yeah, because it's getting torn off by someone's teeth. I gave it 5 for this Machino look.
Fine.
And you gave it 7, highest round of the
Yeah.
pod. Next up, we have Footballers' Wags.
You don't want to do Zinger and Minger?
Oh, yeah, we should do that straight after. That's true. Let's talk Zinger and Minger. Huh.
Does it brighten up your world? Is it a zinger? Does it make you want to hurt? Is it minger? Zingers and mingers.
Let's talk what zinged and what minged. What zinged for you this week?
Caramel's rollers.
Same. Gorgeous hair sculpture. So what was the minger?
Mine would be Dee Dee's, because if I squint my eyes, it feels like the Eeyore hair is just like a scraggly mohawk.
Mine was Michael Maruli's. Not because it was an ugly wig. I was just very unsure about the reference. It was like you're in sort of like modern day glam with modern day props, but then you're in a like French Revolution.
I think it was just a beehive with enough room for your condoms.
No.
to stick on.
It was a like proper what
Caged.
era is that?
I don't know.
Like French Revolution, like that 18th century, I guess, maybe. That it was with like the side rolls and stuff. It was like, I think it was clearly
Side rolls.
Yeah, I think it was like a wig that she borrowed or already had, and then just chucked shit on it.
It's literally just an updo with some curls on the top.
Oh no! Wow, I stand corrected. I really thought when I looked at it that I saw that it was
Some Mozart shit.
yeah, on her fucking Wolfgang Amadeus shit. Well, there's me.
I stand corrected, said the man in the orthopedic shoe.
Yeah. Well, that's not the wig I thought it was, but still, I'm going to say it minged for me. But let's talk the critiques, judge, deliberation, and no, actually, let's talk our footballers' wives, shall we? Mm-hmm. What was your thoughts?
I didn't really enjoy the first bit. I thought when they all suddenly became pregnant with the footballs, that was funny, and that was very footballers. That's literally like a thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'll be pregnant too then. Yeah, like literally that. So I thought that was good. You just don't get writing like that these days.
You don't, do you? I haven't really got much to say because I've already made my thoughts about Jacob very clear.
Michelle hit it on the nose on the head about there not being enough nose flaring. Like Tanya is just... Yeah. Nose flare, snarl, and a cigarette. That's all you need to be her.
And then fucking acrylics.
I thought Michael did a serviceable job.
Yeah.
Cara, like I said, I don't think she has seen the show.
No.
So
it wasn't the right sort of bitch, was it? It was more Dynasty than it was more sort of like showy, like when it's like they're a bit hardened.
Yeah, Chardonnay's more just a bit more softly spoken and dumb, but
Heart with a heart. Yeah,
she's just a silly bimbo.
Yeah.
I would probably say it was fun. I liked the beat. I'd give it a 7, maybe.
I would give this a 5. The sanctity of footballers' wives is very important to me.
For me, I'm the opposite. Just a little just a sniff of it on the Drag Race. I'm like, yeah.
Also, in their critique afterwards, when it got to the main stage, I was absolutely dying when Caramel was like, and I made this hair myself. And RuPaul just looked at her and went, thank you. I don't give a fuck, bitch. It was quite cutting.
Yeah. Has she said that a couple of times now, or is it because I've seen this episode twice? Did she say that about her silver one that she made as well?
Maybe she just won't feature in her.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Holdark. And let me tell you, these girls, what they do got is theatrical sensibilities.
What they don't got is, I don't understand why they didn't use any green screen or just cut out the edges of the set. Why are we literally just having to watch the same view as the rehearsal? Do you know what I mean? You can see why wouldn't you've got a black do a background in a stately home? Don't have the fucking lights on show.
Give us a faux fireplace or something.
Do you remember when they did American Horror Story or that weird witch the Hogwarts School for Girls? They're giving you full sets. We've got fucking what's it called? Where they do all the filming in England.
Pinewood.
Yeah. Come on, we got sets. We got sets for days.
Give us a bit glamour or something. Obviously, this was fantastic. I thought it was very brilliant. And I thought they were both fab in it.
The way that when Kate's shoe fell off, she just immediately rolled with it, picked it up.
She's a hot and professional Luke.
So smooth. I didn't think that done-down bed frame was going to take too much frottaging. It was fucking shaking.
They were really going at it, weren't they? Much like many of my young friends who will name unnamed on the pod, but have admitted to me that when they were younger, riding the bed frame hit the spot.
That was not me.
Not you.
I had my saddle.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Feeling new sensations. What is this? Although that doesn't really happen as much as
Would you say you broke your hymen upon the back of Barney?
It must have, because I didn't bleed. But to be honest, I wasn't really getting frills off the back of my sweet angels.
No, that seems like a...
Well, who was it who did Murder on the Dance Floor and they do the whole thing dead on stage and then someone came for them saying that you've stolen my gig?
That is true.
This was maybe 2 years ago or something.
All of this. Yeah.
Some UK.
Do you know who
London
I think it
queen.
was? Do you know who I think it was?
Who?
The lady who shall not be named that was in this season.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
I'm almost positive it was.
I need
actually
a sound effect for this.
Yeah, give him a dadoing. Give him a dadoing or something. I think have we managed to not talk about this the entire time? I think
we spoke about it on the first ep a little bit.
Absolutely mystified by this gorgeous fringe on you. The way it's just blowing in the wind. Me sitting here looking like warmed up shit, and you're just throwing these 90s silhouettes at me.
I can't help it. The girl can't help it.
Yeah, I believe it was her. Oh no, we haven't talked about this on the pod at all. We're not going to.
We didn't name names, I don't think. We just gave a very rushed cliff notes of...
Fab. Obviously, if you need the tea, get in our inbox. We love a voice note, you know? Okay, so then we move on to Femidale, which can I just say straight up, Wazzock, fantastic cuss. Why don't we use Wazzock more?
You
What a fucking Wazzock.
Was it like a pillock?
Yeah, Wazzock is so good. Consider that fucking stolen bitch.
Is it
I'm
to
gonna
do
be
with
saying it all the
piss? Because
time.
I say I need to go
Waz.
for a waz, and that's a piss.
It is now.
You pisshead.
Yeah, Wazzock.
I can't believe they fucking got away with this. If RuPaul had been in rehearsal, no fucking
Over.
way.
You'd been sent home right there
that
and then.
really need. I don't know. Like, should it play into it? I'm in two halves. If you're a bad rehearsal, but the end product is good, does the rehearsal matter? Or is that still part of the challenge?
And also, Shelley Visage, I'm looking at you. Quentin Tarantino, you ain't. You're not sitting there helping them with the acting of it. You literally just sitting there. So what are you but a pair of spy eyes on the whole operation?
Spider eyes.
I want...
Burning like fire.
Thanks for that. With the
intense
eye contact.
eye contact,
Yeah,
that's for you.
yeah, you should be... The whole reason why you should be there is to then bring all that shit up when it comes to judging. Do you know what I mean? Be like, actually, do you know what? You didn't know any... Like, and because you're not really directing them. So it's like, why are you there if you're not going to really bring the heat? There is so much hiding in these scenes, and it made me think that every single scene, this is how fucking lazy they are at RuPaul Head Q, every single scene had the exact same structure. Someone would start on, and then the guy would come in, and then they'd be like, you need to hide, and then they would hide, and then they would be trying to juice up the guy, and then they would come out and have like a verbal fight or... physical
literally
fight.
the same
Literally
story
the same,
told
yeah, it
two
was
ways.
just like, wow.
Well, there's only how many 8 stories in the world, so come on.
Sherazade had 1,001 of them, and you couldn't come up with 2 when you're getting hard.
Who was she? From Sherazade Smith from Two Pints of Lager.
But yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. Should we talk winners, bottom 2 and lip syncs?
Let's do it. Tamara and Dee Dee are safe.
I'm sorry, that's absolutely absurd. I was like, spitting feathers. Their outfits to me were both very subpar, very unimaginative, very boring, and neither of them executed that particularly well. And they were obviously the worst in the acting challenge. It doesn't matter that you can in editing make it fine. It's like they were in the challenge.
You were
the worst
terrible
at
to work with.
Yeah.
Did they at any point say that they were going to be judged in pairs?
I don't.
Because
I don't
normally
believe
they
so.
would say that, and I don't understand why. Yeah, Michael shouldn't have been in the bottom.
Can you tell the girlies what your reaction is when them opening bars came over on the PA?
Oh, touch me! Oh, it was so good.
Let me tell you.
I was screaming.
I was
I had
up,
to pause it.
finger wagging and shoulder shimmying like some faggot in a glee club. Like
This is the
I was
night.
going mad for it. Oh my God, what? And as best friend of the pod, Faye Bentos, said, she went, the lip sync this week is very Truffle Pig Wigs coded.
Yes.
Very,
The whole
very-
episode was.
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
This
To
was a
be
really good
fair.
episode for me. Do you know what I wish, though?
What do you wish? Tell the girls.
I wish they brought a bit more of Samantha's cheeky glamour girl side to it, rather than just the full-on, like, Cara was just giving sex, and it was fucking hot, but apart from when she fell over. But I wish that she had given us a little bit of a nudge.
Yeah.
I think maybe that is what saved Michael, unless they were just a bit not sick of Cara, but just she's had more chances.
Yeah, this is a golden lip sync number, because the great thing about it is not only is it a fucking banger, it also gives you, it's pounding, so you can really you can pump it down that runway, and it'll be, both of them at one point sort of was giving you the, but also it's super emotional. It's also super sexual, and so you can make it funny.
And she's telling a story, so you can
it's a golden
you can
nugget.
give it a little tableau.
And then, like you said as well, Sam Fox, she's a little pocket rocket. She's like a cheeky East End girl with a fabulous rack. You can really be playing into the character.
I would have
as
popped
well.
on a breastplate, that's for damn sure.
A couple. I'd have had one front, one back. I'd be serving boobs 360.
What a great song for lingerie.
And what about when she threw off them curls and she had her little Basic Instinct pussycat underneath? Oh, it was heaven. Let me tell you what wasn't heaven about it. What am I going to say?
When she fell over.
No, just if you're making short hair, I've just very recently done 2 short wigs myself. When you're making short hair, you have to make the back longer than you think it would, and also flay out all of the hair over the lace, because otherwise you're going to be showing your lady hair.
Well, that happened to her in the white wig last week as well.
So for 2 weeks in a row, we've seen.
Maybe she needs to cut the hair on the back of her neck because I get crazy neck hairs.
Yeah, same. And so that kind of took me out of the glamour fantasy a tad. But what about when she was walking across the reception at work? She slipped. That was, do you remember her with the Gail Weathers micro bangs?
It was a stunning recovery, though. It was a Kylie Sonique love level of like, if you hadn't have seen it, because I had to rewind it because I missed it the first time, then I could see like Dee Dee's face, like, so I round it. It's like, she stumbles, but she glides. She glides,
baby. I think she went over an ankle as well, which is never. She needs to cheese grate those pumps. Stat. You
weren't even high. That was a chunky heel.
Oh, that was a croc wedge at best. You cannot be going on any shiny BBC stage without cheese grating the fuck out of all of your shoes. Like, imagine getting on there and being like, my shoes are slippy.
Or you just buy those lovely little sandpaper triangles to stick on yourself.
Yeah, or just a bit of Velcro.
Yeah. Just some pubes.
Bit of soups.
And I will recommend as well for the girlies, get yourself some lovely clear straps if you've got a slip-on shoe.
You will, won't you?
So good.
Oh my God. Yeah, when we did a show, we found out about the wonderful world of not only shoe clips, which are, yes, as you guessed it, accessories for the shoes. You can just clip it on at the front.
If your outfit needs an extra zhuzh.
Yeah, which we did not know about.
You?
Vintage shoe. You did.
I had some Shelley's orange shoes when it was like 2000s does 80s.
Yeah.
I got some Shelley's orange pumps that had a detachable orange bow.
Love. Almost as funny as they literally always make me laugh is the snap-on cuffs that people wear.
What, the bracelets from back in the day?
No.
They're sick.
You know, you can get on like AliExpress and stuff, like say like Marabou feather, like snap-on cuffs that you wear like with a coat and then it looks like they're fur trimmed.
Love it.
I find like one of my favourite people on TikTok is Mary Bridget Stanley of the Traveller community, and she often wears a faux fur snap-on cuff.
Well, I've seen I've actually got saved on mine, lovely pastel collar and cuffs in fur. I didn't realise they were like slap-on. I thought they would just be a popper or something. No, they're
slap-on. Can everyone...
We're girl on the go.
Yeah, we ain't got time. We need to be fashionable, but we ain't got the minutes for it. Can everyone go onto TikTok and go follow Mary Bridget Stanley, who is truly the sweetest little traveller agent.
What about my girl with the lovely long name?
Your girl with the lovely long name?
Like... What's your name? My name is Remembering.
Oh,
Angel.
Truly Precious.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Spelled
also
TREWLEY.
Truly. Everyone go and follow Truly Precious as well, because do you remember, we need to know.
We are going way over time. I still got to do my Dracula rundown.
Oh God. Okay, sorry. So I thought this was very emotional, and when they both started crying, I was like, oh, this is tough. But do you know what I did think? Caramel, that is a 10 out of 10 face.
Yeah, and a 10 out of 10, but when you give us it one more time.
And let me tell you what Lucrezia Gorgia loves to see on the runway. Bare leg. And when that bare butt was shaking as she was walking off, I thought, I know for sure that Lukey is sat at home going, look at that fucking butt.
The confidence. Who did I see off the most recently? I was like, fuck it, because she
greased up like a pig.
Kills me. Brooklyn fucking Heights with those
the
toned dancers' thighs just coming down bare leg. Like, fuck you, bitch. Yeah. Rose and Thorn.
Yeah, let's talk Rose.
Rose and Thorn. The rise and the fall.
And the thorn. What's your Rose and Thorn?
My Rose was Footballers' Wives finally getting its flowers.
Thank God.
Finally showing those Americans what our actual culture is.
Yeah.
Footballers' Wags did not do that, but maybe they'll go and look up Footballers' Wives.
Yeah, I hope. And if you haven't seen Footballers' Wives, please go and watch it, because it's absolutely fantastic. And Zoe Lucker's never been better. My Rose was Kate Butcher's Timeless Glamour. And I know you're going to raise an eyebrow at that, and I deflect it. But I just thought she looked absolutely beautiful today. And you know how I feel about the girl who's been clowning her saying she's the ugliest woman in the world. I thought she looked stunning in her grey. So I'm very glad that she got that moment. And she said, do you know what's important? She said, I feel so beautiful. I thought,
that is the most important thing.
Good for you,
You
bitch.
feel beautiful. You ooze beauty.
Oh, don't, yeah. What was your thorn?
Weirdly, it has to be like the herd is thinning out. I kind of wish we started with like 25 queens.
Missing your friends?
Yeah.
Mine was, get Joel Dommett off my TV right now. Fine. Why is he infiltrating? A lot at the moment, I keep on switching and I'm seeing him on TV and I'm like, I don't want this at all. This is not
Like,
good for me.
I don't care for him. There's a couple of hosts I didn't care for, but
Yeah.
he's not like the most heinous to me.
Who's the most heinous?
I can't think right
Cara
now. I swear
Delevingne.
there have been.
100%. Jerry Halliwell and Cara Delevingne. Worst.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the UK. Was Cara on the UK one?
Cara Delevingne and Kim Kardashian
No.
as the two leads of American Horror Story. To go from
Are you sure they're the leads?
Yeah, to go for well, no, that's a lie. I haven't seen
Okay,
it.
fine.
But they are. I did read a thing that they are main characters in it.
They have to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
a
yeah.
fuss about them if they're going to put them in there. Don't they?
But to go from Sarah Paulson and Jessica Lange, to go from Angela Bassett
No.
to Cara Delevingne, who couldn't act her way out of a wet paper bag. We digress.
Next week is the makeover challenge. Wah, 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 wah. And
Love
with
it, love a
that,
makeover.
I will move on to our lovely little Dragula roundup.
Dracula. She'll make you.
So the theme of this week was Children of the Can, which was basically based on Garbage Pail Kids, but they were never actually allowed to say that.
Sure.
JK, who was meant to have been exterminated last week, popped back for some reason.
So JK Miss thing.
Yeah, and the fright feat this week was they had to all chug and consume a garbage smoothie. Do you remember what was in it? It was like sort of like
Jism.
it's just all like offal and shit.
Yeah,
isn't it?
they do. Unfortunately, there's a lot of vegan and vegetarian queens on that are just like forced to eat animal excrement and remains. And lips
Every
and
episode
arseholes
I
and-
watch reminds me of how I could never ever be on Dracula.
Tough.
Returning, JK actually won the chugging challenge, and then what he won was to curse one of the other contestants. He chose Cynthia Joel, and she had to get ready in a portaloo that was apparently really, she said it was stinky. I'm sure they wouldn't have real shit in there, but I bet they put like stink bombs and stuff in there. Like,
I bet it's probably animal shit,
yeah, true.
but I didn't say JK.
She didn't say JK. Yeah, so poor old Cynthia. Everyone else is like just vibing out in the main room, getting ready together. She's in
And if you haven't
in a
watched Dracula,
portaloo.
Cynthia, the bitch, is pumped.
She's my favourite personality of the season.
The tautness of that girly's face. Oh, if you haven't checked her out, check her out. She is pumped.
Yeah, she's
Gorgeous.
and some real great talking heads as well.
Yeah.
She in the first episode she played a fungus, and she kept being like, "I'm bringing the hummus to the fungus." Or something. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about, you crazy bitch?
The floor show, they had to create a look inspired by the Trash Can Children and perform an act of filth during the floor show. So this is a filth.
Yes.
Which is very
Would you
good.
say that it was filthy enough for you?
I don't know if you remember, we were physically screaming and hiding from the
There
TV
was a
in some of
few
them.
that were fantastic, but a few of them didn't hit the mark for me personally.
I mean, it's always the way, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Not filthy. I want Dracula is the one show when I feel like hopefully I'm going to see things that make me want to turn away from the screen and be like, this is repulsive. And a couple of them did that, but a couple of them were just a couple of girls in dresses.
Yeah. So I'll tell you our favourite two. Who's still my favourite two from last week? Neohuru was basically this like pregnant spider mother. She had like a vagina prosthetic on her mouth and on like her belly button that then she was pulling out of all of this like discharge with just like loads of like spiders. It was incroyable.
Yeah.
And then our good guy Orgotic, I find that so hard to say.
Orgotic.
He was basically a living hemorrhoid boy. So his whole head was a hemorrhoid, and they had a massive hemorrhoid on his ass, and then at the end he squeezed it and this really like long thin poo came out, and I was literally about to fucking flip the table. So good.
So good. And so filthy as well, like so repulsive.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I need. Like, give me glamour some other time.
We had Matthew Lillard from Scream fame and Landon Sider, previous winner, as the winners, as
What
the
was
judges.
the famous line that someone said?
Oh yeah, the Throb Zombie. No, it was
Yeah.
someone else. Who was it? Oh, what's
I
the
think it was
name?
Cynthia, wasn't it?
Maybe.
But like, oh,
Something
this-
like, but I am crazy or something. I don't know.
love Matthew Lillard, and that inspired us to go watch the new Scream, which we both thought was quite fantastic.
Yeah, Throb Zombie was the winner with their Sid Scoops character, which is basically like ice cream cones full of just like innards and intestines and stuff. The bottom two was our good gal Cynthia and Onyx on Dicks, and they basically had a jug of maggots and worms, and they had to, using only their mouth, move them into an empty jug, and whoever had the most maggots in the end wins.
How would you be with the creepy crawly shit?
Creepy crawlies over offal, I think.
Oh no, see, I could drink whatever, but feeling maggots moving around in your mouth, you would never feel clean ever again. Maggots moving around in your mouth. You would,
but like your mouth's already wet, so I feel like if you just kind of like, just
Yeah,
like
moves.
in, out.
You would 100% swallow some though. Some
Maybe
would
they just
some would
fall down.
fall down your throat.
Well, I've eaten like crickets before.
Yeah, I've had the maggot that comes with the tequila before.
Oh, well then you're
But
fine.
that's dead. That's not alive.
He's probably
Pickled.
alive when he went in there, Barney. He drank himself to death.
Surely. That means you'd have maggots in your poo.
Yeah. And Onyx on Dix was exterminated, so Cynthia Dahl gets to live another day, which is good because she's a crazy bitch. And I
Neither
think
on
I
Miss
have a new
Hello.
episode today.
Let's watch it right now.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, girlies. Sorry, our episodes are getting a little bit longer each time just because you know the girlies love to chat and you love to listen. So
We hope.
yeah. So love you. Hope you have a good week and then see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.